What's up everybody, Kasabi here. The 2-year anniversary update for Rocket League has been out for a little over a month now. Over the course of this last month, listening to the Monstercat album and really getting a deeper meaning of what all the songs are about, how they're mixed, how well they relate to the other Rocket League tracks that have been in previous updates, I think I can make a pretty good list, a ranking of how these songs compare to each other, how well they mesh with the Rocket League dynamic. I will not be ranking these songs based on my personal likes or dislikes. I won't be ranking them based on my opinions. Really what I'm going to be ranking them towards is with the previous soundtracks that we've heard in Rocket League, there's kind of become a little bit of a tone to what Rocket League should be. I'm going to judge these songs based on that tone, and really beyond that, I'm going to judge the songs and the rankings based on how well they're mixed, how good the vocals are and everything. With the 18 songs that there are, I will just go ahead and say it, a lot of these are very good. Number 1 is, to me, every bit as good as number 10. There's really only a few songs that, to me, don't really fit the dynamic. They might be a bit quiet or, just kind of low-key. Really, there's only one that I truly don't appreciate on this album that I'll skip, and I'll get to this in a minute. But again, these rankings are what I think fits the tone for Rocket League and how well it fits that tone. No matter what I put in the 18 spot for this ranking list, I'm going to catch a lot of flack for, and I realize that. But to me, the worst song by far and away is Outbreak by Feint. The vocals on this track are very shrill. You can tell when they're mixed how often they repeat. Like I can pinpoint the exact moment when she says light it up, over and over again. I'm not basing these based on my personal likes or dislikes. I personally love drum and bass and want to get into this song, but along with the vocals, the lyrics make no sense. They just don't really work together. And Feint himself, so once the bass drops, and Feint starts going into his mixing of the song, it just gets very, look what I can do. It just doesn't really mix with the song very well. It just seems very experimental but passed along as a single. This song is just a mess of vocals, mixing, trying to do too much with the same track, and it just doesn't really fit at all in this soundtrack, I believe. 0202 by Eminence is one of those songs that feels very cool and mysterious, but it really doesn't go anywhere. The tone that I believe Rocket League kind of represents is you have a lot of whiz bangs and just quirky things that kind of pop out with the tracks. You've seen it on the songs by Mike Ault and some of them with Hollywood Principal. 0202 doesn't really do any of that. It's just kind of a song that might just catch a little bit of it in the background, but when this song is on, the song is not the focus. If you're tuning stuff in the garage or adding customizations to your car, searching for a match, this is one of the songs on this soundtrack that you're not even really going to notice. It's not at the forefront. It's not going to add anything to the game, really. Wake Up You're Dreaming kind of follows a similar chord of 0202 by Eminence, as I just mentioned. The only difference is this one kind of takes you on a bit of a trip. At least the song goes somewhere. And I get a very good, glitch mob type of feel to this song. But again, this song is a little bit too quiet for my liking. Rocket League's soundtrack or tone is something that I'm used to hearing a bunch of quirky things popping around during the middle of the loading screens and main menus. And Wake Up You're Dreaming is another one of those songs. It's incredibly mixed. It's a very good song. It's an enjoyable song. I just don't believe it fits with the Rocket League tone or dynamic. All Me by Conro is a song where when the bass drops, it feels fantastic. It's like a ray of sunshine is beaming on me. It feels like I'm looking at this huge city skyline off of a cliff. But for that reason, maybe it's just me, I don't know, but it seems as though this song would fit better in something like a Grand Theft Auto 5. With every soundtrack, you need to have different elements to that, and I realize that you can't have songs that all do the same thing. And starting from this point on forward, so including All Me by Conro, these songs I feel are great for Rocket League. I'm just going to put that out there. So with that in mind, let's continue on to the next song in my rank. When Rocket League was first starting out with featured artists, a lot of them had strong vocals, which really sold the soundtrack to me at first, and Weapon by Grant is no different. I was very mesmerized by the vocals when I first heard this song. Since then, with the test of time, it's gotten a little bit more bland to me. it doesn't stand out quite as much. What I do like about this song is that the synths pop out. They're very noticeable. You have kind of like the turntable switching noise that Grant puts in there that, you know, if you're a user customizing something in the garage, you're going to notice it. You're going to take a second and realize that the soundtrack is playing and that a song is on. It's not something that you're going to tune out after the first 4 or 5 listens. And that's what you really want in a soundtrack. You want something that doesn't get too stale. To me, it's a little stale after the first month, but something that people will enjoy listening to and won't get sick of right away. The song Collisions is kind of similar to 0202 and Wake Up You're Dreaming. There really isn't any sort of amplified action to the song. But what's really great about this song is it is really a perfect song for customizing things in the garage. When I listen to this song, it feels like I'm playing Midnight Club or some other racing game. It just continues on without getting too repetitive or anything. And really it's a simplistic song, but not in a bad way. It's not something that seems too easy, but it's not something that is completely overdone and tries to do too much. It's something that's enjoyable when you listen to it within a certain whim. So again, like, I find myself most enjoying this song when I'm customizing something in the garage. When I first saw that Rocket League was going to be adding a Monstercat soundtrack to Rocket League, the first thing I thought of was, okay, what artists are going to be on there? What kind of drops am I going to hear? And you can't have Monstercat without Aero. Aero, I've heard in so many different racing games. His drops are just fantastic. Drop It has this very hard, sinister, but like enjoyable feeling to it when the beat drops. The reason I have it so low on this list is once the song kind of ends, you kind of get this very old school kind of like techno feel. It's something that seems a bit too throwback-ish for Rocket League. Maybe something that would bring it back to its super acrobatic Rocket Power Battle Cars roots. But I don't think that's what they're going for with this edition of the soundtrack. They want Rocket League to sound fresh, they want it to sound appealing, they want it to cater to a newer audience, but at the same time still kind of go along with the soundtrack that they already had without sounding too different. Break Me by Trivecta has by far and away the most powerful vocal feature in this Rocket League edition with Monstercat. This song has a lot of break beats, and the thing I also love about it is at one point during the song you think that the bass is going to drop and it doesn't, but listen upon listen upon listen, the vocals in this song are they just blow me away every time I hear them. I want to hear more from, I want to hear more songs by these artists in the future. It is very good. When you finish a match in competitive or whatever it is and you go back to the main menu, Skyforth is that song that just starts up, gets going like right away, and you're like, alright, I'm listening to the Rocket League Monstercat soundtrack. We're doing this right now. The beat on this song is so catchy, it's so fun. It's something that I think goes along really well with driving around in a Rocket League car is a bunch of fun, and this song fits the tone, It's a song that I want to chase a soccer ball around with a car and hit stuff with. It's a good song to go along with that. I am conflicted by keeping this song so low on the list, but Bone Dry by Tristram is the most wonderfully mixed track on this new album. It's such a sad song lyrically, but it's so uplifting. The music is so uplifting that it almost makes you want to feel happy, and I can't quite place it. Rocket League can be frustrating at times, but at the same time it's happy. It's something that brings a lot of joy to people, and I think the reason that this one isn't so high up on the list is because of the tone. Most songs on or by like Hollywood Principle and stuff on the previous editions of the Rocket League soundtracks didn't make you feel too sad, and while this one is uplifting, you do feel this little hint of sadness, and really that's the only thing I think is keeping this so far back on my list. But Tristram, wonderful job with the melody and everything to go along with this song. Call Me by Subtact is one of those songs that just gets you energized to play Rocket League. It's pumping. I really enjoy songs that have a very hard beats that kind of drops down like every few seconds, and along with that, like clapping and stuff, chanting to go along with the songs. When you're playing in a Rocket Coliseum full of chanting fans and stuff, it's like a soccer atmosphere. Clapping and beats and stuff just go along with it. It feels like a stadium song, and Rocket League is a stadium affair with all of its fans, esports. It's made to be a big ticket event. Apex by Vicetone is another one of those songs that, you know, I can imagine myself driving to. There's this one beat switch right here. It's just so fluid. The whole song is ever changing, which might irk some people, but just how fluid it is and how it goes about its business is something where I am mesmerized by listening to this song. It's something that I almost have to like put my controller down for a little bit and just listen to that same part over and over again, just be like, how did he do that? In the other videos and comment sections and what with all related to the new Monstercat album, I feel like a lot of people either love or hate this song by Slushy, Love You Need You. When I listen to Slushy songs, they sound very odd in a way. They have too many like cute elements mixed with like really, you know, hardcore stuff. And the thing I like about this song and what fits with Rocket League so much is not so much the lyrics. Love You Need You, you could say that you love and need Rocket League. You could make that connection. But just all of the pops and the trinketing that he does with this track is just so stupendous that it doesn't sound annoying to me. It sounds like it belongs with the other songs that are playing in this album and that were part of this soundtrack before. The chorus of this song is what really defines Rocket League. There's a lot of high-pitched noises that aren't too annoying or too squeaky. You have the lollipop noise like this. This song is well crafted with the right amount of experimental. You have a lot of things happening and then it kind of dies down, gives you that like, well, Twilight feature of, you know, you're listening to creatures at night. But it all comes together. It's something that I want to listen to and kind of puts me in a special place where I can imagine myself playing Rocket League at like midnight Beckwith Park or just, you know, in a nice open grassy field. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this one just because of the quote-unquote kitchen step that I've seen a lot of quotations about and comments about on the Monstercat's release page for this song, but hear me out. Fury by Rogue has fanfare upon fanfare, and it is fantastic. I can see them playing this song with the RLCS, I can see them playing it at a competitive level, I can see cars freeze framing with said fanfare in the background, highlighting this fantastic, stupendous game that just on a championship level should be enjoyed by so many people. This song would be perfect for that reason. Sure, the so-called kitchen step thing might be a tad out of place, but just the overall amount of fanfare in this song kind of overshadows everything else and really puts itself on a pedestal. That's why I have it so far up on my list. There are so many artists that come along every once in a while and just give you a masterpiece of a melody that's perfectly crafted, tells you a story, and Drift Away by WRLD is one of those songs. You get to the part with the flute or whatever instrument you want to call it, and it stands out. You know, it's something where if you're just minding your own business at the main menu, your eyes and ears are going to kind of perk up and start listening to it. The drum and bass on this track is fantastic. It gets you going, it gets you excited. It's a song that you can have a good feeling about the entire duration of the song. And really on top of that, the whole concept of the song Drift Away, you're drifting a lot while you're playing Rocket League. You're in the air, you're going towards the ball and doing different stuff with it. I think is also a nice touch, something that really fits with the Rocket League theme of this soundtrack. Play to Win is the fresh, crisp breath of air on this track that puts it apart from every other thing on this soundtrack. It really gives you a whole type of feel, the same way that I got a feel when Breathing Underwater remix came out, the Hollywood Principle song, earlier in Rocket League's soundtrack's lifespan. It is, I mean, the vocals are fantastic. Just the way that the beat swirls around you at different points during the song along with said vocals that sound absolutely beautiful. And on top of that, the lyrics very much so match what the game is about. I mean, the song is about a relationship, playing a game with each other, but Rocket League is a game. Are we playing this game? It just fits so well with Rocket League. I definitely play to win. I might not always win, I might only be a platinum player, but every Rocket League player has this feel. They play to win. There was really, in my mind, never going to be anything that really matched the dynamic of Rocket League more so than the title track, Rocket. And try saying that 3 times fast. It's Rocket League, Rocket. It matches perfectly. And if you were to tell me that like all of the artists that ever took a song from the original soundtrack, if they all came together in a room and they're like, okay, let's put together a song that we believe truly defines Rocket League, I would have believed you. The way that this song just abruptly just cuts in and out, comes back at you with hard electronic noises, is just fantastic. This song deserves to be the title track. When I load up Rocket League every day when I come home from work or whatever it is, and I hear this song, I absolutely love it. I don't see myself ever tiring out from this track just because it matches Rocket League so well. It defines Rocket League. And not only that, but it's made by a group called Tokyo Machines. This is one of those songs where I immediately saw the artist name and started imagining what it would sound like on a map like Neo Tokyo. I can totally hear this song playing when I score a goal. I mean, I can hear it anywhere. No matter where you have rocket cars flying around hitting the soccer ball out of the air, this song will match it. I am very much excited to see the direction that Monstercat and Rocket League go with soundtracks in the future, and as I'm sure you know, this one was called Volume 1, so we can very well expect a Volume 2 to perhaps go along with it. We're going to have more artists that may not be on this album that might be on the next one. There's a lot of different ways that this can go. The issue now with Rocket League is how do they continue to get songs that are going to pump people up, they're going to be noticeable because of the artist names, but still kind of fit with what they believe their direction of Rocket League is. And I think this album as a whole has done a great job of giving a nod to the old past of Rocket League, the past 2 years before this anniversary update. And also at the same time pointing it in a new direction. They're signing all sorts of esport deals, TV contracts with like NBCSN. Therein lies the issue, and I think they're doing a great job. If they continue to keep adding tracks like this with Monstercat or other music artists going forward that sound like this album, it's going to be a hit. There will be some misses along the way, but you know, 15 or 16 out of the tracks on this album are fantastic, and I love listening to them. We honestly knew something like this was coming. You can't honestly expect Mike Ault or Hollywood Principal to come out with a song every month like this. You're not always going to have fan-made songs like Drunk Girl, Don't Stop the Party come out. There's just a lot of stuff to sift through. So you need to get something that's a reliable resource. You need to have something that people already know and appreciate, and you got to have something that fits with the game. I give kudos to Psyonix. I give kudos to their sound team. They did a very good job implementing this into their game and having it just mesh up so well with Rocket League. And again, don't take these rankings to heart. I know a lot of you like the songs that might be at the bottom of my ranking list. This is just, you know, from all the stuff that I've listened to over the last 2 years with Rocket League. I've been playing this game a long time. These are what I feel matches the tone of the rest of the soundtrack. I've been a big connoisseur of Rocket League music. I always try to upload songs that originally were hard to find for Rocket League, versions that might not have been heard before. I don't do this to, you know, make any sort of benefit on my own. People might found my channel that way. I really don't, you know, care too much about that. I just love the music. I love the soundtrack that goes along with this. I want to share this with others. I know other people out there enjoy the soundtrack as much as I do. So for all the songs and everything that I've uploaded in the past, that was really the intention, was to share that love of the soundtrack and everything that is Rocket League with the rest of you. So again, I hope you appreciated these rankings. If you do disagree, let me know and why in the comments below. And if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, or have any other suggestions for what you'd like to see in terms of music and discussion on this channel, feel free to let me know. If not, I'll see you next time with hopefully Monstercat Volume 2 for Rocket League.